Yo, what's going on, guys? Just before the PTR starts, Ubisoft has released some more information about the new upcoming changes in the PTS server, and I'm gonna go through these changes really quick. There's a lot of changes coming up, and the first of all I want to talk about is the Parry. There are not many changes as to the previous statement that Ubisoft released, and that is that they want to nerf Parry. And I get it, a lot of people are just trying to initiate an attack, trying to bait out the heavy or a light attack so they can just parry that one. And that's what most of the raiders do. And honestly, I don't know how it's going to affect playing a raider from now on, and any other character, to be honest. We'll just have to wait and see. But the changes are as following. Light parry frame advantage is reduced to be consistent with heavy parry. So that means if you parry somebody's light attack or heavy attack, a guard break is not guaranteed. And that brings me to the second point. A guard break is no longer guaranteed. So that means if you parry somebody, it doesn't always guarantee you a guard break. So you have to be fast enough to get the guard break. And the third point when it comes to parries is parrying too early consistently opens up your defense. What they mean by that, I assume, is if you parry too often and too early, it opens up your defense. So if you try to parry somebody often and you parry too early, you're probably gonna miss one or two shots after that. This is just my assumption. I'm not really sure about these changes. That's why we're gonna have to test these changes to actually see what they're gonna do and how they're gonna implement the gameplay mechanic. Yeah, that brings me to the second point, and I think Ubisoft is making a point here, and they said that the main source of damage is coming from guard breaks. That is definitely true. If you guard break somebody and you push them to the wall, most of the damage is coming from guard breaks. And the way they want to change this is the time that you have available when you guard break somebody. So instead of having a huge window of like 800, 400 milliseconds or something like that, they're gonna change it to 100 milliseconds. So that basically leaves you with just a light attack if you're very fast. Basically, shinobis, PKs, and other characters that have very fast light attacks are going to be able to get a light attack in. I think we can definitely forget about getting heavy attacks in if it stays this way. I don't know, we'll just have to see how this goes and we'll have to test it. So what this also means is if you try to feint an attack and you try to bait out a parry, and he goes for the parry, and you go for a guard break. So that means it's not going to work. You're probably going to get hit by that heavy attack. And I'm going to go on with stamina. The changes in stamina are pretty heavy, and as far as I've seen, it's only going to give advantage to some of the OP characters already, like Warden. And yeah, but let's read this for a second. The changes include stamina regen on block and on dodge is now paused. Dodge left, right, and dash forward, no stamina regen on the first 400 milliseconds. Dodge back, no stamina regen on the first 600 milliseconds. Interrupt block, no stamina regen on the first 300 milliseconds. In regular block, no stamina regen on the first 500 milliseconds. And also a big new thing that I actually like. I like this thing. When you're out of stamina and somebody attacks you with light attack and you block the attack, it's not gonna stop the chain. It's not gonna stop the chain attacks. And I think that's a really good approach to this. I'm really looking forward to this change, and I think we need more out of stamina punishes. And here comes the big one. It is impossible to parry. So when you're out of stamina, it is impossible to parry. Now get that straight. If you're out of stamina, guys, you're pretty much fucked. So any unblockable attack coming from a raider, any unblockable attack coming from a lawbringer or similar like that, you won't be able to parry that one. Yeah, I'm a bit speechless, you know, but honestly on paper it feels like a good idea, but let's just see how this actually goes in game. I'm really looking forward to seeing this one. I think we're all gonna be sucking really badly when this comes out, and I'm honestly scared of fighting in the PTR and getting my ass whooped, but we'll just have to see. Also, dodge and dash are like 200 milliseconds longer to make you more vulnerable to guard breaks, and you don't have any special abilities during the out of stamina period. So that means if you try an attack and the raider tries to move out of the way, you guard break him, you won't be able to block the guard break. So even though I'm a main raider, I still think it's a good idea. Out of stamina punishes should be way better, and I think this is a step in the right direction. I could be wrong, you know, but we'll just have to see. I mean, there were really not a lot of out of stamina punishes except for a couple of characters like the Warden. They really had very good out of stamina punishes with their Vortex, the Warlord, Lawbringers. Raiders is a good example as well. I mean, nowadays with the Stampede charge, that's a pretty good change. So when you're out of stamina, you should be pretty careful when you fight a Raider. But this thing is actually going to change a lot for other characters. Like, if for example I'm fighting a Kensei and I'm out of stamina, there's basically nothing the Kensei can do against me. He's just probably going to try and feint a couple of attacks, which I'm not going to fall for. And yeah, that's basically all the Kensei has. He can't open me up. If I go turtle mode, there's nothing he can do. But with these changes, the Kensei definitely will have some chances. I'm kind of looking forward to this. Yeah, chip damage has been increased to 18%. However, it's not lethal anymore. So if you have that small amount of HP left and somebody does a little bit of chip damage, it's not going to kill you, and I think that's a good idea. I hate dying to Warden's zone attack when I'm blocked it like halfway at the end and I just get killed by that shit. It was just rage-inducing. Anyway, so yeah, moving on to the revenge changes. Well, Ubisoft confirmed what we already knew about the revenge and Centurion's kick, and that it's very weak against it, so they're looking into it, and here are a couple of changes. Revenge activation can't be interrupted by melee attacks, so that means any fist attack by Centurion or a kick, it's not going to interrupt any of your chain attacks or something like that, or even a startup from a heavy. So yeah, if you got revenge, just go for it, and you'll be kicking his ass now. I think that might solve the problem with Centurions, and let's just see how this goes. I'm usually not playing a lot of Dominion and Illumination, so maybe you guys can help me out. What do you guys think? Is that a good change? And holy shit, the last part of the revenge change. Outgoing attacks cannot be parried. So assuming I'm right, if your attack is halfway through, it cannot be parried if you're in revenge mode. I'm just gonna leave the comments to you guys about this. I don't really know what to say about this. Going on with the flicker change. Yeah, we're finally getting a patch for that shit. So no more fucking flicker Orochis and their zone attacks. So yeah, removed zone attack input buffer. That's the only change, and I hope the flicker bug is finally gone. The last changes they have done is to the duel mode. So what they focused on for the duel mode and for the upcoming PTR changes for the ranked and tournament mode is to prevent people from trying to get a draw or to get a victory by just running around. If you're a Shinobi, Orochi, Peacekeeper or something like that. I myself experienced that, and that wasn't really much fun, you know, like. So they implemented an anti-runaway system in duels, and timeout victory is awarded to the player with the highest percentage of HP remaining. So what that means, if you try to run away and I have more HP, it's not gonna do you any good because I'm definitely gonna win anyways. And also for somebody that is running away during the duels, the navigation speed is reduced by 20%. Your stamina gets drained over time while running. And for somebody that is running after you, so the pursuer, he's getting like 30% navigation speed. So yeah, good luck running away now, Orochis. So the speed bonus pretty much allows the pursuer to catch up, and the stamina drain acts kind of as a warning for the runner. So yeah, I think these changes are pretty good for the duel mode, and I think they pretty much address this issue right now. And yeah, there's a lot of changes happening right now. I'm really interested to see your opinion about this, guys. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about these changes. Basically, what Ubisoft is trying to do with these changes in the PTR is to get rid of the defensive meta. Basically, what Ubisoft is trying to do with these changes is to get rid of the defensive meta, and I for one agree on that part, because there's nothing more frustrating than fighting against a Conqueror or a Warlord that is just turtling up like a motherfucker, and there's basically nothing you can do against them. As I said, let me know what you guys think about these changes. Please leave a comment. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next video.
3 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I met a bad bitch last night in the D. Let me tell you how I made her leave with me. Conversation and Hennessy. I've been to the motherfucking mountaintop. Heard motherfuckers talk, seen them drop. If I ain't